And this is where I think you really see him change. Just a twitch in his face, and he goes from really benign to...
Yeah, he's really great, this skitzing around he does, yeah. And he's gentle with it, too, you know. It's like toward the end, you know, when he said, "Oh, my grandpa's the best killer that ever was. Won't hurt a bit now."
That's right. He could have killed more if the hook and pull gang had
got the bees out of the way sooner or faster.
That's right. Like that. They're just some things a man's got to do, but you don't have to like it. I think that's his other one.
Right. this brooming.
This is excellent.
God, poor Marilyn.
I know, God, Marilyn got some dings and bings.
I think we lost Marilyn for a day or two after this scene, didn't we? She was pretty well beat up.
I don't know.
Not so much from the brooming as much as the running in and falling down. She just had gotten exhausted.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's the band playing in the background?
I don't know. I don't know how she consented to that. I mean,
Yeah,
because the rag had been everywhere. I mean, we were walking on that damn thing.
well, there's a lot of, as they say, subtext.
Yeah, the scene coming out is really an interesting side of this character that Jim Cito is playing.
Especially this little goofy moment here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. This little moment about capitalism and. I mean, this film kind of came out of the Watergate times. It was kind of inspired by it in a lot of ways. That, and there was a song called "Dead Dog in the Middle of the Road."
Right. Stinking to high heaven.
Yeah, yeah, and it said nothing, but then again, I guess it said everything.
Had to lock up and get the lights. Cost electricity is enough to drive a man out of business.
She really cares about your problems, dude.
Yeah. So you mean this film is really not about the breakdown of the American family?
Listen, that family sticks together, man. That's
the family that slays together, yeah.
Yeah. That's this. He'll kind of get watching. He'll get a little bit embarrassed, you know.
Yeah.
Oh.
You got nothing to worry about. You just take it easy,
And he means it too.
No need to do that.
Yeah, I don't see how his wife has stayed with him so long. I love this shot coming up, Daniel. The one where when he sees the hitchhiker.
The hitchhiker, yeah. Well, it's interesting that well, you had a couple of little quartz lights on. Someone was running cable because the headlights were illuminating.
Right, we had rigged two 1Ks on the bumper in the place of the headlights to try and actually worked out very well for us. We got this point of view and the shot that's going to be looking from the house back out of the car.
Yeah.
Out of the set, it worked really nicely.
What? Oh, right, yeah, the I told you, stay away from that graveyard. Nap-haired idiot.
Yeah, look at
The
that.
shot
Yeah.
here, that's really nice.
It's really nice.
No, they didn't see me. They don't know nothing. I told you to stay away from that graveyard.
See, we really weren't just a bunch of college students.
I don't know.
No. That was a interesting summer. Well, with that 25 ASA, this was really amazing. That was... The sun was coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is great.
Yeah.
And then he goes the other side. Now, I actually the door you had up there for cutting, of course, was an extra door you added, but I actually cut into the door frame, I remember, and damaged the door frame. I kept thinking the owner's not going to like this. Now, here is Leatherface in his new getup as the grandma. I think a lot of people don't know that Leatherface actually has 3 different masks he wears in the movie. And you told me that the whole idea is that the mask is because he really has nothing inside. I mean, the mask is the personality. So he changes faces depending on what he's trying to do. Now he's being domestic. He's been making dinner, and so he's got the old lady mask on. I got an apron and a giant wooden spoon. And he moves differently, too.
I thought you was in a hurry.
The armchair.
Yeah, the armchair.
Where are they? Show me.
My voice changed after this. Yippee.
You damn fool! You ruined the door!
Now's the first time you hear Leatherface. You hear your name.
And I think there's only one other reference when...
Yep, at the dinner scene. Me and Leatherface do all the work. You're just the cook. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Now, Grandpa...
Yes, go ahead. Go.
He was a guy who really understood that not only putting a mask on does it free you, but when the mask takes 8 or 10 hours to put on, and you do something unpleasant, no one can touch you. And so when we were doing... when we carry him down the stairs here in a minute, he would go limp in the chair. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
He'd go limp in the chair and then slide out between my feet. And he'd do it over and over and over again.
What was his name again, the guy who played it? Anybody remember?
It was John Dugan.
Yeah, John Dugan, yeah.
John was 18 years old, and
That's right.
he was cast somehow to play the 108-year-old granddad.
And he looked 15.
Yeah.
He was thin, you know.
Yeah, he was thin, and it was, as Gunnar had mentioned, about a 10-hour makeup job, at which time, at the end of applying all the prosthetics makeup to make him into a 108-year-old man, he announced he was not sitting through it again, and we had to shoot him out. So this sequence that you're starting to see here now, of course, we were 10 hours into our day when we got this announcement, and we had to shoot him out. And I remember very clearly we worked 27 hours straight in order to...
Right.
So we started noon on Saturday and finished, what, 3 in the afternoon on Sunday?
I don't know, but
Yeah.
it was 27 hours straight in order to shoot him out of the movie entirely, and my other recollection of this dinner sequence was absolutely the hottest.
Oh,
We'd
God.
mentioned it was hot, but this is where it really peaked for us. It was... we were shooting it during the daylight hours with it blacked in, and it was just outrageously hot, and the slow film stock requiring a lot of light. We had all this head cheese
Yeah.
that was
Heating up.
Yeah.
heating up. It was probably probably rancid before we got it. Anyhow.
Yeah, I remember there was like Dramamine or something like that.
Well, I remember,
something for nausea.
every once in a while
Because the odor was...
They'd say, take a break, and we would go outside, and Dr. Barnes was giving everybody some sort of nausea.
Yeah.
But
I thought we were sticking our heads out the window throwing up, or maybe it was just me, I don't know.
Well, and the trouble was, of course, it did me no good, because I remember the rule was you can't take Gunnar's mask off unless it's a 15-minute break or longer. And every break was a 5-minute break, even if it lasted an hour. And so you'd say, all right, everybody, outside 5 minutes for air, and I'd get to stand outside and breathe the bad air in my mask. And this was the night when I finally got so ripe that they wouldn't let me stand in line to get dinner.
Tell a story, Gunnar, about this.
Oh yes, this scene. There's a tube. There's a bulb in my palm with the knife, and there's a tube to feed the blood there, the fake blood. We shot this over and over again because the tube kept clogging, and there's a piece of tape, Scotch tape, over the blade edge to keep it dull, and we couldn't get the blood out of the tube onto the knife edge. And so after the fourth or fifth take, while they're all sort of getting ready to shoot it, I turned away from everybody and stripped the tape off the knife and the tube, the blood tube, and then actually just cut her. And the reason was, at this point, we were insane, and now we're 18 hours into this 27-hour day.
And she's ruined anyway. I mean, she's so buggered up.
She's no good. And I was so crazy. I mean, at this point, I was so crazy that I just wanted to get the film over with. And I didn't care about anything. I didn't care about hurting her. I just wanted to not do this again. And it's interesting because later I'll mention the rest of what happens because of that kind of craziness.
But for the record, I didn't tell you to take that tape off.
No.
This is the first I hear about this.
Yeah.
This is the first I'm hearing about it. I wouldn't have carried on this movie. I didn't know it was actual real bloodshed.
Well, I knew that you were very sensitive, Daniel, so I didn't want to tell you about it. But there's things a man's just got to do.
All right, well, it could have been a 30-hour day if you hadn't done that, I guess, so thanks.
Yeah. I would expect Marilyn to say things.
She wasn't saying thanks then. And the great thing was, she really got upset and was crying because I'd cut her, but nobody noticed because everybody was so whacked out. You know? Oh, it's just Marilyn complaining.
And now here's Jem Cito going through all these different these.
I always thought of the sausages as being Jerry because it's the same color as his hair. You see, now Leatherface has a different face.
Come to dinner. Putting the makeup on. I remember everyone freaking out when I dipped into the makeup and smeared it all over.
And then, and there's a little piece in here that didn't make it into the final film, which is, you remember, I actually get up and walk out of the room and put more makeup on. You have a little shaving stand from here, and so I think if you look really closely, the makeup on the face changes from the beginning of the scene to the end.
Yeah, right. Because during that, you made yourself up again.
I think I was thinking, I like you. Pretty.
This scene we shot over and over and over.
Yeah, I remember this one. You kept telling us that all the cutaways had to be perfect. So it seemed like we shot it 20 times or 25 times.
Yeah, and I think, as usual, go through the entire...
You went through the whole scene?
The whole scene, yeah. It was just so this is where we were. Were we tented in here? Or was
yes, we're tented in at this point. It's really hot.
It was just a nightmare.
Yeah. I remember that you would occasionally switch out the head cheese for so-called fresh head cheese, which had been sitting in the other room at 100 degrees versus 125. Except for the chicken, which you couldn't switch out. There was the chicken art there in the foreground.
Now that chicken, that is not the same chicken as the one that was in the cage. I don't think. But that prop did arrive late.
Yeah. So, right after we had that.
I mean, actually, I just thought of that. That's chilling.
That's so great when he does it.
Oh yeah, what's Grandpa thinking?
The Mexican flag shot.
He just can't help himself. The energy kind of pulls him back into the spirit of it. You know?
And this is when we really are like this. I mean, I think this is the one scene there's really no acting going on, where we're all crazy. Yeah. Because I get asked, how can you do a film like this? How could you be this monster? And I say, well, you're not the character you're playing. You know, you're separate, and you do it, and you present the physical presence of the character, but you're not the character. But in this scene, coming up a little bit, I think I certainly lost any sense that I was play acting. Maybe play acting isn't the right word. And I just lost any sense of that, and I really thought I was trying to kill her. I did, and I jumped up at one point when the hitchhiker yells, "Kill the bitch." And I thought, kill the bitch, yes, kill her. And I jumped at her because that's what I thought I was supposed to do. And then I had this flash of, wait a minute, this is a movie.
It was like, this was all in that 27 hour. thing, and it was just, yeah, we were living it.